Welcome to this note. Think of this as a global masterclass designed to give you the exact foundations you need to actually build, grow, and monetize in today's digital economy. If you've ever found yourself wondering how some startups just seem to pull wealth out of thin air while others absolutely struggle to make a single sale, well, you're in the exact right place. We're going to break down the real professional architecture behind successful digital businesses.
You know, we all use the internet every single day. We're scrolling, clicking, subscribing. But let's start with a really thought-provoking question. How do these digital ventures actually turn those daily, simple interactions into real, tangible income? Basically, how does a website or an app translate your attention into real-world business value?
It literally boils down to a very fundamental equation. Every successful digital business model relies on three mandatory pillars. First, value creation, solving a real problem. Second, value delivery, getting that solution efficiently to the market. And third, revenue generation, capturing a fair portion of that value as income. Because think about it, without value creation, you've got zero demand. But without revenue generation, you don't have a business. You just have a really expensive hobby.
So in this professional mentorship session, we're covering 5 core pillars to future-proof your digital wealth-building journey: the Internet Business Foundation, pipelines versus platforms, the 4Cs framework, proven digital revenue models, and finally, AI in future trends.
Starting right off with Section 1, Internet Foundations in Core E-commerce Markets. Let's look at the absolute bedrock of who is actually transacting with whom out there.
The core e-commerce markets really break down the flow of commerce. First up, you've got B2C, where businesses sell directly to consumers. Think of buying sneakers right from Nike's website. But look closely at B2B, business to business. It's often way less flashy to the general public, but it solves massive, complex problems for other companies, and it is projected to be a $36 trillion market globally by 2026. Then we've got C2C, which is individuals selling directly to one another, like on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. And finally, D2C, where nimble brands completely bypass traditional retail middlemen to own the entire customer relationship themselves.
Moving on to Section 2, Pipelines versus Platforms and the Evolving Business Architecture. Let's see how modern businesses have fundamentally shifted to scale faster than ever before.
There's a stark contrast here. Traditional pipeline businesses are linear and asset-heavy. They create goods, push them out, and sell them down a line to the customer. Honestly, much like water flowing through a pipe. The firm has to tightly control production and inventory. On the flip side, we have platform businesses. These are networked ecosystems and are incredibly asset-light. Instead of owning massive inventory or factories, the company simply provides the digital infrastructure to facilitate interactions between producers and consumers. Think of Airbnb or Uber. They scale incredibly fast because they rely on network effects. As more users join up, the value of the network increases automatically without the company ever having to build a single new factory.
And that brings us perfectly to Section 3, the 4Cs framework and positioning online. We know who's transacting, we know if they're a pipeline or a platform, but how do they actually position themselves?
The underlying systemic map of the internet is known as the 4C typology. Pretty much every major digital enterprise fits into one or more of these buckets. First, content, providing convenient access to digital media. Second, commerce, initiating and fulfilling online transactions, offering a highly cost-efficient exchange place for buyers and sellers. Third, context, firms that sort and aggregate information to reduce complexity. Think of search engines guiding you through the massive, noisy web. And finally, connection. That's the vital physical or virtual network infrastructure that makes the exchange of all this information possible in the first place.
Okay, so once you understand this structural framework, how do you actually turn it into digital income? Let's explore that in Section 4, Digital Revenue Models and Proven Monetization.
Here are 4 highly actionable monetization workflows you can leverage right now. First, direct selling, where a brand captures the full profit margin by selling directly to the user. Second, dropshipping, where you sell items without ever actually touching the inventory yourself. Third, subscription models, which generate this beautiful, predictable, recurring revenue by renting access to a product or service over time. And fourth, the freemium to premium model, where you offer a basic version for free while locking advanced, high-value features behind a paywall.
To really highlight the wealth-building potential here, let's talk about dropshipping for a second. Because you don't hold any inventory, the upfront risk is incredibly low while the global scale is just massive. To put that into perspective, dropshipping is projected to reach a staggering $1.12 trillion globally by 2030. It's an absolutely powerful framework for rapid market testing and scaling without taking on heavy operational overhead.
Or consider the math behind that freemium model. It's an incredible digital income engine, particularly for software as a service or SaaS businesses. Offering free access naturally attracts a huge user base. Now, the industry standard is that converting just 2 to 5% of those free users into your premium tier is highly typical. While that percentage might sound pretty small at first, when you scale a digital product globally with near-zero marginal distribution costs, that 2 to 5% translates into a highly sustainable and incredibly lucrative business model.
Now, to make sure you are truly future-ready, we've got to turn to Section 5, AI and Future Trends looking toward the horizon of 2026. We need to look specifically at how artificial intelligence is going to impact everything we've just discussed.
With generative AI becoming a built-in interface for browsers and productivity software, it's super easy to feel a little intimidated about your role in the future economy. But listen to this really powerful quote from London Business School professor Andrew Lichtman. He says, "AI cannot exercise judgment. It is one of the things that humans have and machines don't." That right there is your anchor. AI can summarize, it can tutor, it can generate text in a matter of seconds. But your human judgment, your specific ability to navigate nuance, understand people, and make strategic business calls, that remains your most irreplaceable, absolute premium asset.
Which brings us to a massive emerging opportunity for businesses: context engineering. Models like ChatGPT are incredibly smart, right? But they've basically just read the internet, which makes them really clever generalists. To be truly valuable and defensible in a specific business setting, AI needs local, proprietary context. So, context engineering is the deliberate design of a firm's internal knowledge and governance. The real battle of the future isn't going to be about who has the smartest base AI model. It's about who has the richest, most tightly governed, and highly specialized context. That is exactly where the next wave of tech giants are going to build their moats.
So, you now have the masterclass blueprint. You understand the fundamental equation of value creation, the highly scalable shift from pipelines to platforms, the 4Cs framework to position yourself, proven digital revenue streams to monetize your efforts, and the critical role of human judgment and context engineering in an AI-driven future. So, my final question to you as we wrap up this note is this: armed with this powerful foundation, what opportunities are you ready to create in the digital economy?